Hi, my name's Lisa Coors. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am the proud owner of Coors Core Fitness, and I'm honored to be one of your presenters this year. I've had my business since 2006, and so that is 15 years now, and I want to share some things with you. So I hope you will enjoy this, and afterwards you are always welcome to email me with questions. Introduction of myself. I have my master's in business from Xavier University. It's a Jesuit school here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I have a background. I was in biotech. I was what they call here in the States, a corporate person. I got out of that in the early 2000s and finally found what my passion is fitness. And I have a MES from the American Council on Exercise. Also, I'm a health coach for the American Council on Exercise, ACE. Why medical exercise? What I have found through the years is that people with chronic illness, orthopedic issues, whatever you want to call it, they work really hard and they want to be here. And that makes my job so much easier. I'm a pretty hardcore trainer, meaning I expect people to do the work I give them, especially the work outside of here, like their daily stretches, their cardiovascular. I call it homework. I started Coors Core Fitness, this studio you see here. You can see my trainers. We were on a billboard outside a couple years ago. And 80% of this business is one-on-one personal training. Everybody that comes in here is a client. We cannot call them a patient, they're clients. And everyone that comes in here has some sort of orthopedic, chronic disease. Our specialization is neurology. Parkinson's disease is a specialty here. And I'm going to talk to you because there are so many reasons. We have so many cases here. And it has to do with our pollution level. We have a lot of Vietnam vets here who, in Vietnam, the war, they were sprinkled with Agent Orange, a chemical that has caused Parkinson's. And we just have a huge number of people here that there's a need in the market. So we'll be talking more about that later. And okay, 80% we do is one-on-one personal training, but there's a 20% in this small little studio. We do group exercise. But all of our group exercise are Parkinson classes. Why? Because we have so many of them. We are a direct referral for the University of Cincinnati Gardner Center. They're a world-renowned neurology group that work with Parkinson's patients. And I connected with them 15 years ago, and we've been their referral ever since then. And again, their practice, they have over 10,000 patients in their practice here in Cincinnati. It's the University of Cincinnati Gardner Center. That tells you there's a need in the market. And I would like you to look at your own markets in Budapest and throughout Hungary and figure out what type of diseases are prominent here. For us, it's neurology. Pollution levels, like I said, people don't exercise. We have a high obesity rate. So why did I open Coors Core Fitness? Again, there's this huge need. 70% of the Cincinnati, greater Cincinnati, where I live, 70% of this population is overweight or obese. So why would I train athletes or well people when 70% is obese or overweight? They all have diabetes. None of them can move. So you have to look at your market. If you have a high obesity level, you have a lot of people with diabetes. So maybe that's an area that you focus on. So again, you really have to understand your market and the needs of the market. We always understand the need, and then we provide the service. This is why this business is so lucrative. We make money here because there's nowhere else for these people to go. My big challenges as a business owner, first and foremost, I'm a woman business owner, as you can tell, and Cincinnati is a very conservative town. Women are still nowhere near men on the small business line, meaning we really have to work a lot harder. A lot of times people don't call me back. Now that I'm a lot more prominent in our community, now people are coming to me. Staffing is the hardest thing I do. I have more business, more clients than I have staff. So in Cincinnati, most people who are personal trainers and do one-on-one focus on athletes and weight loss. And we have a hard time getting these people to understand that that's not where the market is. Most of the trainers in the city are working with a person who's 10 pounds overweight, just had a baby, a younger population. And then these trainers find out that the clients don't stay with them. And this is my challenge, is if you work with chronic illness or people with orthopedic issues, people on a lot of medicine because they have so many things wrong with them, if you work with those people, they stay with you forever and ever. We are one of very few businesses that have stayed in business. And again, 15 years now, I'm really excited because I have to turn away clients. I don't have enough trainers. I have a wonderful staff now, but I have to work on retaining them. And we're always looking for more trainers. And I'll talk to you a little bit about our expansion project here as well. A little bit about us. Again, we have 80% of our business is personal training, 20%, as I said, is the Parkinson's disease group training. We talked about this space is tiny. We have 1,200 square foot, only 900 is usable. Again, our orthopedic, diabetes. We have post-cancer, people who've done chemo who come in here and work out with us. They feel safe here. And our payment for our services. Oh yes, this is the most important thing. Everything is cash or credit card or a check. We do not take health insurance because we are trainers. We're personal trainers, medical exercise. The government, the United States government, does not look at us as therapists. We are not therapists, so we cannot bill insurance. I am thrilled that I cannot bill insurance because if I billed insurance in the United States, I would get about 30% of the money I charge. So I charge $80 an hour, and you want 10 one-hour sessions, that's $650. I do a little, I'm sorry, $750. I do a little discount if they pay for a package. So our retention rate is 99%. This is group and one-on-one, and I'm going to tell you what the 1% is. They're the ones who die. I know you're laughing, or you're probably going, oh my gosh. No, we work with people suffering from disease, and no one ever leaves here because we are it. We give them a service, we give them professionalism, and they don't go anywhere else. Well, there's really nowhere else to go unless they go to a trainer who doesn't do medical exercise. So this is the advantage. People are going to come to you because you know what you're doing, knowing the medications, the diseases, all that. About also Coors Core Fitness, we spun off this Parkinson's program. I talked to you a little bit earlier. I said, oh, wow, we have all these people with Parkinson's. After you see so many people, you create a program, and that's what I did. It's called Move It or Lose It for Parkinson Disease. It is an ACE continuing ed credit course. It's a 2-day course. I train trainers. And this can be one-on-one, teaching you to be a one-on-one trainer that works with Parkinson's clients, or you teach my group classes. There's a certain methodology and curriculum that go behind it, but there's over 10,000 people at this local practice, the University of Cincinnati Gardner Center for Neuroscience. With Parkinson's in our city, 10,000 people come into this city. You have to create something. That program got so big, I had to start another company. It's called Parkinson Community Fitness. And you can see our business. It's called parkinsocommunityfitness.org. We are again, this is a second company. It's about 30 minutes from this studio. It's what we call a nonprofit, meaning we set it up to not be taxed by the United States government. It's a special entity designation for the business. And that way we can receive donations and sponsorships. We have 155 members with Parkinson in that facility. And that was started 2 years ago. All from this spinoff of a need in the market. All right, so I want to talk now about the impact of COVID. How COVID has impacted Coors Core Fitness and Parkinson Community Fitness. Because of the years of being in business here at Coors Core Fitness, the physicians in this community wrote a letter to the government, to the state government, which is in Columbus, Ohio, stating that we are an essential business. If you had the designation of essential business during COVID, you could stay open. Well, Coors Core Fitness immediately got that designation. My doctors, we had a shutdown. The shutdown here started, I think, around March 16th, 2020. That paperwork was already filed the night before. That's how badly the doctors need me. Again, this is a good problem, but here's what happened. We couldn't do any of our group training here at Coors Core Fitness. They all decided they wanted one-on-one. COVID has been a good thing for our business. So COVID for my business was not a shutdown, not for this one. And I have been waitlisted for new clients for over 1.5 years. I need a new trainer full-time and I need more space. All of my personal training staff members are booked. No one can get in. They are booked every single minute they are here. It's a wonderful problem to have, but when you do this business right, you will make money and you will be the best at it. I assure you of this. So most of my personal trainers are through ACE and they're a CPT. So you know that's the first level. Then medical exercise is the second. The other things, they have to have a CPR AED and must have a current CPR AED. And they must have personal liability insurance. If you are a practitioner, you're a personal trainer practitioner, you have to have what they call personal liability. Most of us get that through K and K insurance. For me, it costs me $290 a year, which is really cheap. So I can literally practice personal training anywhere and it covers me from getting sued. Somebody falls or whatever. Now, if you own your own business and you have your own space like I do, you need personal liability and general. The people that work for me, my trainers, must have experience working with persons with disability or the senior population, because most of our people are older. They're older adults, and you have to know how to work with that population. Okay, our current staff, we have 5 certified personal trainers. We have a massage therapist. He does what we call medical massage. We have 4 group exercise instructors. All they do is group Parkinson work. They're certified in a ACE group exercise certification. And then they have to go through my training for Parkinson's. And we have a bookkeeper. She's got the most important job of running this business. Challenges in the business. You guys heard this already. Finding qualified people and people that don't lie about their certifications. It is really, really hard to find good people. As you all know, as trainers, it's hard work. And we work hours that others may not want to work. I can tell you right now that we are expanding this studio starting in a month. So we are going to get more space. I'm going to add 900 square foot onto the space you see. It has been an issue for years. The reason is price. We are turning people away. I hate to say this to you, but people call here and want to get in. I don't even have a time in my day to get someone in for an assessment. Okay, I can't even get them for an assessment. The challenges in our industry here are people are getting more obese. Cincinnati, people don't eat well. There's not a lot of vegan, vegetarian restaurants. It's very pork-based. People eat a lot of pork and fat and sugar and drink a lot of beer. So we are known for our beer. If you like beer, come to Cincinnati. So the challenges in the industry is convincing fitness professionals that training athletes, training kids, honestly, it may not be the need in the market. The need is these people, the 70% of the population with diabetes, I'm sure, orthopedic problems, all the things that happen to you when you're overweight or morbidly obese. So having, fitness professionals figure out that this is the business to be in. This is what's very, very lucrative. They also don't realize, my challenge in the industry is certified personal trainers don't realize how much money they can make. This is a lucrative business. If you train 10 clients a day for me, and all my trainers work for me, by the way, they do not rent space. So I hand them the clients because we have so many of them. And the clients are Coors Core Fitness clients, and I pay the trainers. So all the clients come in here, they pay me, okay? They pay Coors Core Fitness and I pay the trainers. So I make a percentage of that. So if a trainer charges $70, they make $35. Good to know, because I do all the work for them. I do all the admin, I do all the cleaning here, I provide them with all the equipment. They just walk in and train. So they make $35 per hour. If they train 10 clients a day, you can kind of do the math. It's all what you're wanting to do. If you want to be a business owner for medical exercise, or just work for a medical exercise company like my trainers do. This is a great business to be in. Maybe it's a good thing that a lot of people haven't figured out that this is the business to be in, and trainers are still training athletes and children and what we call house moms, stay-at-home moms. But this market is huge. The first thing you have to do is, it all starts with the paperwork you give your clients to fill out. Okay, so here's what we use. Health history form. It's a 2-page form that every new client fills out. It asks their medications, their physician names, it's their risk assessment. So it asks them, have you ever had a stroke, heart disease, whatever. That's the first piece of paper they fill out. Then they fill out the medical release. The release also, all it says is that the client is giving us permission to send this release to their doctor. And the doctor signs it. We use a fax machine because we don't have a scanner, but we fax it to the doctor's office. The doctor looks at it and says, oh, Joe Smith wants to work out. Okay, fine, I'll fax it back. Well, that is my business card. So that's the first time the doctor is seeing my name and fax number. And the credibility is that I asked for a medical release. Third piece you need to have them fill out is your liability waiver form so they don't sue you. On that, you need a sick policy. You do not want these people coming in sick. You know the drill, that when they get sick, they bring it and give it to you, you can't work. So I've had a sick policy for 15 years. No colds, coughs, stomach flus, COVID, you just keep it at home. So those are your 3 pieces of paperwork. So the medical release is the number 1. You fax it off to the doctor. I think it's kind of cool to add a note. Hi, I'm Lisa Coors, a local medical exercise specialist, and I'm going to train Joe Smith. These are my protocols. These are my scope of practice. Sometimes you have to explain your scope of practice to the doctors. They don't even know. So explaining you're not a therapist. You are here to manage their disease or manage what's going on. Or maybe you're called post-rehab. I work with people after they see a physical therapist. And I'm even clear with the physical therapist that I understand my scope and it's not what they do. So example, I have someone come in and they had a hip replacement, and my job is post-rehab. So this person just finished with physical therapy for I don't know how many months. So I do the assessment. I get the medical release from their orthopedic surgeon, their physical therapist, and their general practitioner doctor, like primary care. So the physical therapist, I'm gonna call on the phone and I'm gonna say, hi, I'm the post-rehab trainer and I know your role was to give them therapy. I would like some follow-up. What shouldn't I do with this client? Explaining that scope of practice. Again, I'm not therapy. I'm so thankful that you worked with him for physical therapy. What would you suggest I do with him? Also, again, the contraindications are very important. What don't I do? Make a phone call with a physical therapist. Make sure you identify, hey, these are my roles, and I respect that this is your role. You get that dialogue going, that physical therapist will refer to your business. This is really, really important. So we have become a referral from physicians just through the medical release. That's where it all started. Do I go to different conferences for patient conferences? Yes, we did do that before COVID. So Parkinson's, the Parkinson's physicians always had a yearly conference and symposium. So it was a great way to meet the doctors. But in the meantime, you have to have follow-up with the doctors. The medical release, maybe a couple months later, you send a follow-up fax or scanned letter. Joe Smith is doing great. This is where we started. He couldn't get out of a chair. Now he can. Doctors like to see that. And maybe you give it to your client and they take it to the doctor's appointment. It's great. Hey, the doctors love it. The physical therapists love it. I'm providing post-rehab, disease management, exercise, whatever you want to call it. And I put it in writing and send it to the doctor with the medical release. And I'll say, I don't provide therapy. I provide disease management through exercise. It's Parkinson's exercise. Oh, okay. And then I tell them, I don't bill insurance. Well, doctor, whatever the doctor's name is, they sent me here and they want me to come here. So most people don't argue with me. They just, I just make it clear on the scope of practice. We are not nutritionists. I need to cover this with you guys. In the state of Ohio, the only person that can give a client specifics on eating, an eating plan, a weight loss plan, a disease management plan, the only person that can do that is a registered dietitian certified through the state of Ohio. Yes, I get physical therapists referring to me, and they are amazed by the work we do here. So once they find, one lady told me, and she's a physical therapist, she says, once we find a trainer that we like and understands their scope of practice, is credible, then we refer. So some tips for you on building relationships with the medical community. Medical release, medical release, medical release. Send those releases. The release, when the doctor gets it, it's just asking them, is it okay for Joe Smith to work out? Is he healthy enough? And what are the restrictions? I want to thank you all for having me. I hope I gave you information and got you excited about this industry called medical exercise. It's amazing. And when you're good at it, you make a lot of money and you're a very happy person because you're making an impact on these clients. You're giving them quality of life. And if I could pass on anything to you, it's the word quality and dignity. When someone has a chronic illness, orthopedic problem, they're older, quality of life is critical, meaning they don't want to have to rely on someone to take care of them. They want to stay independent. And their dignity. Things happen when people get older. I mean, it happens to people. They, have all kinds of mobility issues. And we want to keep the dignity of the person. And I think those things are very, very important. All right, well, thank you. And again, this is Lisa Coors in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.